Every individual in the U.S. has the ability to serve our military, but many are not brave enough to do so. Those who are, though, deserve to be protected and cared for upon completion of their service. There is a widespread homelessness epidemic amongst our veteran community here in the United States. This, coupled with mental illnesses and a rough housing and employment market, creates some extremely difficult situations for these veterans to try and overcome. I feel as though I've gained credibility to speak on this topic with the countless hours of research I put in going into this speech, trying to find the best organizations to promote for the eventual eradication of this ongoing issue. Veterans are a large group of people within our population, and they touch so many of us every day. For those of us that are in regular contact with someone who served, we see them living normal, everyday lives, but there is still a great number of those who don't have the support around them to find the success that they need after the service. It takes a huge sacrifice to serve in our military, and those who decide to do so often return home to find many struggles they might not have faced in the past. While there are outreach programs around the nation, the vast majority are underfunded and do not receive the help that they need to make the widespread impact that they're working towards. There are many different ways to help fight this ongoing issue, like continuing to push the narrative on how this issue affects everyone and is so much larger than people actually know, or deciding to go online and getting involved with any of the many different organizations dedicated to fighting this ongoing issue. There are ways to help reduce the amount of those affected by this issue, and the long-term plans brought about by some of the larger organizations are currently being implemented for the eventual eradication of this issue for good. Those who are brave enough to go serve our country do not deserve to go through the struggles of homelessness that they go through. These brave men and women risk their lives for our freedom and are not being treated with the respect that they deserve. The population of homeless veterans is horrifyingly large, sitting at around 40,000 and only continuing to grow. We must take steps to continue to combat this issue. These vets deserve to be taken care of upon leaving the military, and the state this population is in currently is heartbreaking to say the least. This problem is brought about by many different factors, and it is our responsibility to try and combat them. From mental and physical disabilities to these veterans not being well equipped enough to join the modern workforce, there are many barriers that hinder their ability to thrive in our society. There are many ways to combat this ongoing issue, both nationwide and in your community. There are tons of programs that are always looking for volunteers or donations of any kind to continue to serve those who serve for us. The Veterans Affairs Office is working hard to fund support programs for our veterans, ranging from housing issues to helping them find jobs, even helping them with medical expenses. The VA is one of the most well-known and helpful organizations for our veterans here in the U.S. There are hundreds of VA centers around the nation, with one being right here in Murfreesboro, and all of them are actively taking volunteers and donations of any kind. One other way to help immediately impact this homeless population is to speak out about this epidemic. There are many different factors that can cause this issue, but with the lack of awareness of them all, this issue is just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Many of us live our lives every day without a second thought to this population, while those who deserve to have what we take for granted still have to fight every day just to see their next. There are many different factors that can contribute to veterans becoming homeless, and there are multiple organizations dedicated to its extinction and the eradication of this issue for good. As I mentioned before, there are many different issues that face these vets that need to be combated before veteran homelessness will no longer be an issue, and one of the most important is proper health care for our veteran community. One program the VA created in 2010 to provide health care to all those enrolled is the HPACT. This program focuses on implementing and improving the livelihood of the individuals enrolled to allow them a better chance at overcoming their many obstacles. It helps provide affordable health care, housing, and the ability to thrive in the modern job market and society. One other idea that has recently been tested by independent researchers has brought on amazing results and will hopefully be able to assist in the future on catching those at high risk of becoming homeless before it's too late. This series of interviews has proven to do a fantastic job at predicting impending homelessness based on a list of questions regarding the veteran's current employment status, living situation, and the support that they have around them. Veterans in our community sacrificed everything for our freedoms, and the many difficulties they face upon leaving the military all combined to create the homelessness epidemic their community still struggles with today. With the way society is now, there are so many different ways to volunteer and contribute nationwide or right here in your community. With the support of the public, coupled with government funding, there are a few extremely important programs with the framework to ultimately get rid of this issue for good. We as a community can do so much for these veterans to support them. By volunteering and interacting with them as often as possible, we can all positively impact some of these veterans every day. With our help, we can put an end to veteran homelessness once and for all. Thank you. Are my note cards that have my outline written on them. And thank you.